What's up everybody, Ronnie DiMaggio here, product specialist at BMW Morristown. That's Austin behind the camera. And in today's video, we're going to be talking about BMW's Driving Assistance Professional package. That is the package that gets you this radar sensor that controls the self-driving technology that's implemented into this particular 750, or it is optionable on other BMW models as well. So in this video, we're going to go over some of the controls for the self-driving and the driving assistance technology. We're also going to get out on the road and actually use the technology and show you guys what it looks like on highways and in the real world where you'll be using it in your BMW if it is equipped with that package. So with that said, let's hop in the car. We'll start by going over some of the controls, then we'll go out for a drive and show you guys how the system works. You can identify a car that has the Driving Assistance Professional package by simply looking at the steering wheel. The easiest thing to look for are these little lines above the button clusters. Those are actually LED lights. I'll show you how those work when we're out on the road, but that's how you can tell that the car has the system. All of our controls for the system are over on this left-hand side of the steering wheel. So let's go over how those work. The bottom center button is what you want to press to wake up the system or activate the system. So you're driving along, press this button, and if you look in the gauge cluster, actually it shows that assisted driving is now active down there. And now, if you want to take a look back at the buttons, we can press the mode button to switch between just distance control, which is just our radar cruise, or assisted driving. So if you want to take another look up in the gauge cluster, assisted driving, I'm just pressing the mode button. Now it's just distance control. Difference being distance control only controls the speed and the distance between your car and the car in front of you, whereas assisted driving controls the steering as well. So that's the full self-driving feature is going to be active when you're in the assisted driving mode. Another thing I want to point out, if we look up in the gauge cluster again, when the system is active, you see two small icons right here. You have a steering wheel and like a speedometer of sorts. So those will light up green when the system is active and when the steering and the speed are both in the control of the car. If those light up yellow, that means that the car wants you to wiggle the steering wheel to show that you're still paying attention. It wants you to just briefly take control so the system can continue doing its job. If those turn red, you need to take control immediately. That means the system has gone too long without you interacting with it, so it thinks you're not paying attention, or there's maybe an obstruction on one of the sensors or something like that. So that's what those icons mean. We have a couple more buttons to talk about. So the set button is how you set the speed that you want the car to be going. So to activate, again, press this and then set. It'll go to your current speed. To adjust the speed, you can click up or down on this little dial right here. So a light click will do 1 mile an hour up, or a full click will go 5 miles per hour up. Same thing going downwards. These buttons control how far or how closely you want to be following the car in front of you. So if you want to leave a really big distance, a really big gap between you and the car in front of you, you can press this button to expand that following distance, or you can shrink the following distance by pressing down this way. We'll take another look up in the gauge cluster so you can show how so we can show you guys how that looks. So if I want to increase my following distance, I go like this, and you can see there are now more lines. If there were a car in front of us, it would show those lines between our car and the car in front. Or if we want to decrease the distance, we can go like this, and it decreases the amount of lines to indicate a closer following distance. Finally, we have the resume and cancel button. If you press the brakes or interfere by yourself, that'll interrupt the system. If you just want to resume it, you press resume. Or if you didn't interrupt and the system is active and you press this button, it's going to cancel the cruise control. The limb button is actually a button that you'll see on the cars that don't have self-driving. This is on all the BMWs, but the limb allows you to set a speed limiter so you can limit yourself to a certain speed if you want to do that. So those are the buttons. Let's go ahead and get out on the road and actually show you guys how this system works. All right, so here we are accelerating onto a highway, and the highway is where you're going to be wanting to use the driving assistance system most frequently. It's not really designed for city streets or back roads or things like that. It is designed for the highway, so this is where you want to use the system, and this is where we're going to demonstrate the system. So right now I have our driving assistance systems completely disabled. I'm driving myself, I'm steering, I'm using the pedals. It's all under my control. But like we said, to activate the system, we just hit this button and then press set. So now I've set it to my current speed of 57 miles per hour, and my feet are off the pedals, my hands are off the wheel, and I'm letting the car do the driving for me. I want to go a little faster here, so we'll set it up to 65, which is the speed limit on this road. Now the car is going to go a maximum of 65 miles per hour while maintaining the distance that I set between me and the car in front of me. So I can see in my gauge cluster that the lines on both sides of the car are green, and that the steering wheel and the speedometer over there under the digital speedometer are both green. So the car is doing its thing, it's driving itself. I don't have to intervene, except when these lights flash yellow, or when the steering wheel in the gauge cluster turns yellow, like it is now. I just have to give the steering wheel a little squeeze or a wiggle or something like that to let the car know that I'm still paying attention. Now I want to take this exit, so if I want to switch lanes, I can put my blinker on. The car is going to tell me, hey, it's not safe, there's somebody there, but now our blind spot is clear, so I can make the lane change myself, and then as soon as I disable the blinker, it's going to go back to the assisted driving, and now we're back in the assisted driving mode. So if you want to make a lane change, you do have to do it yourself. The newer system on the iX will actually make the lane change for you, but this being an iDrive 7 equipped vehicle, it's not going to do that. So now we're taking our exit. I wouldn't want to use the self-driving system on an exit like this. It's a very wide lane, not super clear lane demarcations, so I'm going to do this myself, and we're getting onto another highway here. And once we're settled on the highway, going the speed that we want to be going, and safely merged onto the highway, we can reactivate the system. So now I'm on the highway again. Let's say I want to reactivate, press that, press set, and now we're back going 51 miles an hour. Let's say I want to go up to 55 or set my max speed to 60. We can do that. It's not really going to accelerate because there's a car in front of us, but it's going to, like I said, maintain that distance between us and the car in front. And you can do this for as long as you want. You're on a long highway trip. This is a great way to kind of conserve your energy. You get less fatigue when you're driving. You still obviously have to pay attention, but you can kind of sit here and just wiggle the steering wheel every once in a while. It's a much more stress-free, much more luxurious driving experience. So that is how you use the driving assistance system in the BMW 750. Of course, this is the same for all cars equipped with the driving assistance professional package. And hopefully that gave you guys a good idea of what the system is like, how to use it, how it works, why it might be worth it to option it on your BMW if you're speccing one out. I think it's definitely a worthwhile option. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed that video. If there are any videos that you want to see in the future, please drop a comment down below. Please do subscribe to the channel, like us on social media, follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok at BMW of Morristown. That's going to do it for this one. Thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.